if someone's already doing a really good job. So we have contacted, between Mila and I, we're in communication, I would say, with about 8 different organizations. And basically we're trying to present a case why they should adopt our location. So we haven't had any of them yet adopt our location.
Okay.
But we're using every networking resource we can to try to nail down exactly, is Manouche going to go, or are we going to go through an organization? A lot of these organizations, because of these numbers that you saw, they're just overrun. They're overwhelmed with the need. So the idea of adopting another location isn't too attractive to them. But what we're saying is we'll raise the money. If you take this on, your organization, we're not asking your organization to pay for it. So that's kind of what we're trying to use as a bargaining card.
Okay. And is the church giving anything towards, our church doing anything towards that? Like I know they gave you money to go last time.
Right. The way that it is right now is that they want to see what the involvement of the church members is.
Okay.
And if they see that the church members being very involved, then they'll support the members' involvement, if that makes any sense. But since it's such a small church in the sense of a newer church plant, it was hard to take it on as an official church.
And I think it makes sense to keep it a little bit separate.
Yeah.
Just because the CCW has a mission here in Germany, to the Army community for the most part, you know, the building, all that kind of stuff. And I think it makes a lot of sense to, for the most part, stay focused on that. If there is like occasions where CCW can help out sporadic or just, how should I say that?
So if Matthias and I were going to go, they would help us get there.
Okay.
Maybe, possibly, but the point is, at those points, you know, if you have something very concrete, we could go talk to someone and to Phil, say, would you be able to do this?
Right.
But in general, it makes sense to stay a little bit separate.
And Sylvia and I were talking about this earlier too, that anytime you have a mission, you have to stay focused. Like, you have to stay very, very focused, because if you get too distracted with too many other little things, we're facing that with our Subi too.
Yeah.
We can't do feed street kids, or, you know, we have to stay focused. We are giving skill training to teenage moms. And there's so many other needs, but we won't do that well if we spread ourselves too thin. And I think CCW is facing that a little as well, because they are a mission church sent to Germany. And they're trying also to stay very focused, but they're very supportive and they love that we're doing this.
Okay.
And I realized today that I need to become better at communications. I only announced it over Facebook, and I had at least 2 families that were like, we had no idea, because they're not on Facebook. So I need to figure out a better way to communicate, I think, as well, other than just Facebook,
Okay.
of what we're doing. So, yeah, that needs to happen.
Word of mouth or emails? Is there a web page, anything set up specifically towards this? Just specific to say, hey, you can go here.
We have a website.
Yeah, we have the
And then like,
the website, which is the Team Mops Uganda.
okay.
The water project isn't on the website yet. Once we have everything nailed down, whether it's we go with Manouche's company or with another organization, we're gonna probably, we have to talk to the Verein, but I think it would be good to add our water project as one of the ministries that we're doing on our webpage.
And then you can go from there and like announce the like meetings and things like this for like informational type of stuff if people want to come. I don't know how secure or unsecure that could be, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I need to find another revenue of communication.
Yeah.
But before we go any further, I want Sylvia to share just a little bit about her life and ministry in Uganda, because she's started a really amazing ministry.
My name is Sylvia Natom, and I'm married to Mr. Emmanuel. We have 2 daughters, Ruth and Jessa. I run a coordinator teen moms group. It's for teenage mothers from 14 up to 25 years of age. We basically give them, we we wanted to reach out to skills because in Uganda, teenage mothers, first of all, education is not for free, and teenage mothers, once they drop out of school, they are not allowed to go to school, so they just live with no skills to support their children and also support themselves. So we run 2 workshops. That is the sewing workshop and the soap workshop, and that's how we reach out to them through the love of Christ. And my husband is a vet. He has a farm in Nakasongora where a blessing is gonna happen in the future. I don't know when, but I'm sure it will happen. So he has we have a farm. And sadly, last year we lost 2 cows. It's like, it's hard to survive. We survive like a survival for the fittest. Do you have that? You don't know what will come tomorrow. You don't know what will come today. You're not sure of the future. So we had some cows because we are young people, and Uganda had the highest population is young people, 18 to 45. So we had gotten our little money and we bought the cows. They're like, okay, it will help us in future, but unfortunately we lost 2 cows. It's like you start something and because of a certain reason it disappears just like that. But we are so honored if this goes through. It will be a blessing of God. It'll be amazing. And kids, it's like water is something that is valuable. It is valuable. We need it. The community needs it. When we are giving out the soap, when we are doing the soap outreach, we went to these schools. They are primary schools, 6 years old children, preschool, and they don't have water. Children just get to the dam that has muddy water. That's what they use. Lots of sickness there. But we hope to see more hope happen through the water project that is gonna start.
Does anyone have any questions for Sylvia?
Well, how far is the farm from where the young girls are? Is
About 2 hours.
83 kilometers.
2 hours.
Yeah.
So the water at the farm won't. I'm confused.
Right. In Kampala, the water situation is a little bit different because it is the capital.
Okay.
But Emmanuel's farm, because it is Emmanuel and Sylvia's farm, the workshops won't probably, now Sylvia can speak better, probably will not be in Kampala forever.
So
She can.
the difference is in Kampala, we have local, like council water, right? You guys pay for water here?
We pay for water.
Yes. We have council water, but it's not clean. It was my first time to drink from the tap here. We cannot drink that water there. If you drink it, trust me, you're gonna get sick.
Yeah.
It's a no. So people pay money at the end of the month. I'm a teacher, so we pay the water bill. But there are many families who cannot afford to pay, so they go to the dams, like streams of water. They get water from there in Kampala.
Mm-hmm.
But outside the village, people cannot pay anything. They cannot. Water is very far and it's got from the dam. So that's how it happens. And in future, we are moving to the location in Nakasongola. That's where we are moving. We hope to start there a vocational school for the teenage mothers that will give them skills, and we cannot do it without water. We can't.
So this is investing in the long-term sustainability. So it's also going to attribute to the financial stability. She has my necklace. We are connected.
Sorry.
Because we had to be very strategic. Because like we said, the need is so great. I mean,
Yeah.
you could just do a water project anywhere, but we had to say what is going to benefit. I mean, it sounds a little selfish, but what's going to benefit our ministry as the most. And Amanda's Farm is a great resource because it's a lot of space, and we would like to invest in his farm. So one of the things we want to do is come up with an agreement between Emmanuel and Subi. Subi means hope. That's the name of our organization. So that we buy him goats, and goats, they multiply fast. And Ugandans love goat meat, so it's a very, very good market. So he could buy 10 goats and have 100 in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
He has the space for it.
Yeah.
And his agreement with Subi is that 50% of the profits, do I understand this
Yes.
correctly, will go into Subi long term. So our goal is that eventually they're self-sustaining.
So just
So
starting.
that we're
like,
not
getting-
always, but we can't do anything. It's like
Without
our
water,
hands
yeah.
are tied because we can't move, we can't buy him goats because they bought cows and they lost them.
Yeah, okay.
We can't think about moving the girls outside of the city, which would be better. We can't do that. You know, we can't think about helping them to build a residence out of raw materials because we cannot put their family there, you know, with children in that type of situation with water. So it was it's so hard to make these decisions, but it was the location we feel like is going to be the most, what would you say?
Beneficial.
Beneficial
No, that makes-
long term.
That makes
And
sense. So you live far from your husband?
Yes.
You live 80 kilometers away? Yeah. Okay.
So she can, you know, Nat has been living in during the week and we've run in it. And I was like, I never realized how hard that was, but that's what they face, is that it's hard for them. They're almost newlyweds, married just 2 years, and they can only come home on the weekends.
Yeah.
And so that's hard for their family as well.
Cattle, typhoid.
He comes home with typhoid. That was so scary. Yeah.
And we will not like once God gives us the water in that area, it's not that it's gonna benefit Sylvia alone. It's gonna benefit lots of families in that community because it will be open, you know.
Yes.
Everybody will come.
So people would just come and
Yeah.
get
That's
the
why
water.
I was going to ask you
Yes.
as well.
Access to
Yes.
it.
It's gonna be
Nobody,
open.
to be
nobody's
able to-
gonna lock a padlock on it. We're not gonna do that. It cannot happen.
Just come and go, come get
Come
the water.
get water.
and-
go.
And that way you
Yeah.
could tell them about God's word.
Yeah.
And they're so
Yes.
passionate about protecting the young girls,
Yeah.
and they know it. And so Emmanuel's already thinking, what is the best location with the most light,
Yeah.
the most like nowhere for these girls to be attacked when they're getting water, because that is probably the number one reason, or one of the very high reasons for the teen pregnancies, is that they're being
Yes.
attacked getting water. And so they're already thinking in those terms too,
That's
which I
excellent.
love, to just really make it the safest possible option
Yeah.
for their community.
Because we have very many girls being raped, going on their way to fetch water. We call it fetch water. We call it collecting.
Yes.
Yeah, to collect water. Girls get pregnant from them, get raped. Child sacrifice. I don't know if you ever heard of that. No. Like in Uganda, there are mostly villages. People practice witchcraft. So they sacrifice girls and boys. You know, they cut off their heads.
Oh my goodness.
Child sacrifice. Yes, it's real. You know, lots of crazy stuff happen on when we're going to
get water.
to get water.
Is there a way to create a path that is open where people can, they can be seen? Is that something that is
you're talking-
part of
I
that?
think here you're talking to families who have got land. They don't want to split anything. You know, you pass through somebody's land.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Fetch water,
Our best-
bushy, no roads, no clear roads, no
Yeah,
open
yeah.
roads. They're just really narrow roads.
I think our best bet, and this is why it's so great to have locals, because they're gonna decide where it needs, because they know all of the complex dynamics. Amanda's lived there now for several years, and they're gonna pick the best location, the most central, the most well lit,
The safest.
safest place.
Was while working on like researching on Uganda, there are so many of the borehole water projects that are abandoned because they don't have maintenance.
Yes.
So what we don't have, we haven't factored in there is the maintenance, but we want to make sure that this is functioning for a long time, not just for a year, and then because it's broken, nobody fixes it.
So is there, so it's an ongoing, you need to raise money over time then to keep it going for maintenance?
So there are different ways. They said that each family can do like minimal contribution, and then we're not gonna sell the water, but I don't know exactly how it's gonna be maintained, but we have to maintain this so that it will last for a long time.
Another, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it also depends, and that's part of the, still of the research, I mean, we're new to this, but what is the most maintainable thing you can do and still reach the effect that you wanna have? I mean, you could put a borehole, simple, right, you could put a borehole in there, but then Manouche came in very handy with that because we didn't think about it, but then you need an electric pump, you know, to get the water out.
There's no
So you need electricity, so you need solar panels,
Yeah.
that kind of, so just
Can't you just use like those buckets?
so, but then there's also, but then, well, you've had people in ancient times dig wells, right? So those are the kinds of questions that we need to figure out a way. And our focus really is on the sustainability of it. And an electric pump, in my opinion, is going to break.
But there are different kinds of pumps.
True, but
And so that's,
but the point is, simple. What is the simplest thing that can still reach the effect that we want to have? I think that's what we're kind of trying to
The
figure out.
ones that they used to use with those buckets.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but it still needs to be dug, and so none of us are well experts. That's